Alright, so before I start, I just gotta say I love both Mazinger Z Infinity and Devilman Crybaby. I even try to get people to watch Devilman Crybaby more because people need to see that shit. It's good. It's on Netflix. If you have Netflix, go try and watch it. It has recently come to my attention, though, that people have been comparing Mazinger Z Infinity to Devilman Crybaby. This kind of makes sense because it's in the same year, they were released kind of in the same month, but the stories are completely different continuities. Like Mazinger Z Infinity is not a retelling, it is a continuation. It's a sequel to the original Mazinger Z series in the 1970s. This is like 50 years, well, not 50 years in the making, but you understand what I mean with that one. If you're going to compare anything Mazinger related to Devilman Crybaby, compare Mazinger Edition Z The Impact, which is on Crunchyroll. You can watch it in full, and then you can compare Devilman Crybaby to that because they are both retellings of the original source material. Since everyone's comparing Mazinger Z Infinity anyway to Devilman Crybaby, I figured I'd do the same, just not in the way that everyone else is doing it. So to start off, a lot of people say that Mazinger Z Infinity's animation was too shiny and not as good animated as it should have been, which is kind of weird. And they compare it to Devilman Crybaby being like really great, and that's really funny because could have sworn that the animation was only good in the scenes that mattered. The scenes that didn't matter looked absolute shit. Keep in mind, I say this as a fan. I'm not like a blind fan, but the animation when like they're just doing exposition or nothing's really happening, it just looks bad. Like you guys have seen it, but the thing is, no one talks about that. No one talks about it. They just keep sucking Devilman's dick like, oh, Devilman, Devilman. And meanwhile, Mazinger Z is getting like the shit beaten out of him in like a dark alley. But yeah, the animation shit, get the fuck out of here with that because it doesn't make sense when Mazinger Z Infinity's creators really delicately worked on the drawing aspect. Like the whole movie, there was not one scene I would say that looked badly animated. And even the 3D generated animation looked phenomenal, especially when it was Mazinger. Because Mazinger was, doing the rocket punches and, doing all his shit. It looked great. I didn't say, wow, this kind of looks weird, like it did in Devilman Crybaby. I also think that the plot has a lot to do with the defining factors of how people react to certain situations. For example, you'll see that Devilman Crybaby has like an 8.1 or 2, and I don't think that's because of how entertaining it is, but that's because of how much it makes you think, pretty much. It's like you have to turn your brain on and really think, which is kind of the opposite of how, movies and television work, but, a lot of people do like the way it makes people think. I, for one, did like it. I thought it was cool. But there's something about simplistic plots that make everything easier to understand and more entertaining. For example, Mazinger Z Infinity's plot is simple. With Devilman Crybaby, I cannot explain the fucking plot. Even Netflix's description doesn't make any sense. I don't think anyone asked for a Devilman anime, but I know a lot of people would have wanted to see another Mazinger installment to just to see him, do his shit, and we got that. We got that with this movie, and for some reason it's rated like a 5.8, which I think is fucking stupid. Like I'm starting to just not care about ratings at all. Nostalgia is also a big part of Mazinger Z Infinity, and people say that it's also the downfall of Mazinger Z, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, it makes Mazinger stay true to what it is, which is a heroic plot of good versus evil. I cannot say that I haven't cried in a theater because of a certain movie, because I did. I cried for Logan. But, other than Logan, like, some of the movies, they didn't bring me to, like, an emotional state. Like, a state of, wow, I am really immersed in this movie and I am really feeling it. Not just, oh, it was a great movie. It's like you felt everything that was going on. I don't know why I'm doing this, like I have fucking tits. But considering that I am not really that much of a fan of Mazinger Z, and my mom is a huge fan. She's been watching it since she was a fucking kid, and she's like almost to her 50s now, so, you know, 50th anniversary is pretty much this year. That's when the movie came out. I actually watched it this morning in theaters, and that's also why I'm making this video, because I just think it's fucking absurd as well as to why this is such a big fucking comparison to make. But all in all, what I have to say is that the way Mazinger immersed me as not that much of a fan, and that's not saying that I don't like Mazinger or I didn't like Mazinger, because I thought he was cool. The way it immersed me, the fact that it even immersed a new audience. I'm like 18 years old. This thing has been around since the fucking 70s. And I was immersed. Not a lot of movies can do that. Not a lot of shows can immerse you like this movie did. Now, to each their own opinion, but, me and the fan of the entire series and everything, we both enjoyed the movie. Now, of course, everyone has their own opinion about these situations, and that is completely fine. I'm just kind of stating my case. I was going to say my bias. Now, should this video influence you to not watch Devilman Crybaby? No, it's a good fucking series. It's really good, but those people saying that the animation is shit and the movie is bad shouldn't influence you to not watching that movie, because it's an actually really good movie. It's straight to the point, simplistic, started slow, I'll give it that. It started slow, kind of lowered down a bit, but when it picked up, it fucking picked up. And you could feel the tension, you could feel the immersion, you could feel everything that's happening, and the nostalgia, and the when he comes up and does his thing. So what you should take from this is not that Mazinger Z Infinity is better per se than Devilman Crybaby, but that they are both really good. They are just very different, and Mazinger Z does some things better.